I think about this a lot. When we come out as trans or non-binary people, we have this interesting position of affecting everyone else's lives. If someone's going to maintain a relationship with us and stick with it, we automatically challenge their own sense of self. I think of a partner who assumes that they are straight or gay, and we complicate it for them. But it's the whole family. We challenge the binary just by existing, and that is destabilizing for everyone. If you are cis and you stick with us, thank you for who you are. We really appreciate your support. Oh, you're definitely not too emotional. In fact, emotions are your strength, but not for the reason you think. When you decide to finally face it and feel, you will be a person who is no longer running. You'll be able to stand still. You'll be able to be fully yourself. You spend a lot of mental energy memorizing the pronouns of all of your neighbors' pets. Your neighbor's dog doesn't look like a she, she's a dog, but you found out she's a she, and so you use she out of respect for her. Why not do the same exact process with all of the beautiful humans in your life? Some of the most evil words in the English language are, "I'll give you something to cry about." I cannot do anything about what they did to you, but please don't do it to yourself. Give yourself space to cry as often and whenever you need. Let me tell you about trauma and being too sensitive. You are definitely supposed to be sensitive to mom and dad's moods and their ideas and their criticism of you. You definitely needed to be sensitive to that. But the second you got so sensitive that you started to push back, that you had opinions of your own, that's when you got the message, being sensitive is so weak, and why are you so sensitive? It's a needle you can't possibly thread. It's my channel. This makes me think a lot about how LGBTQ people in general on the internets get told we're self-centered, we're narcissistic, LGBTQ people are shoving it down our throats, right? And nobody seems to realize that since cisgender and heterosexual people are the default, they don't get told those things. There's this sort of, there's an encouragement to glorify who they are because who they are is what's celebrated in our culture. This comment also makes me sad because shouldn't everybody have a place and a channel where they can celebrate the core of who they are? In case you forgot a little bit, you don't deserve respect just for your identity. You deserve respect for your ideas, for your sense of humor, for your spirit, for your kindness, for all you contribute to this, to our family. I'm glad you're here. I am so glad that your trauma made you strong. But if you look back, all the way back before that happened, I hope you realize that you deserved to be safe, not strong. You deserved to be safe. Thank you for saying this. You're not special. You help me demonstrate something very important. So first of all, I hope you find a lot of specialness and kindness in your life. And I don't mean to make assumptions about you, but what I wanted to demonstrate and what I wrote about in my book is that it feels out of order to cisgender and heterosexual people if they see a queer person who is happy, who is self-assured, who loves themselves. It feels like we're taking something away from them, that we're trying to be special, but to the point, specialer than they are. Good news. There's plenty of love and kindness for all of us to have. We can all be special. Hello, younger Jeffrey. It's me, older Jeffrey. I want to let you know that I'm so sorry. I'm sorry you don't have support at school, at home, at church. I'm sorry you get made fun of. I'm sorry it's not fair that you get beat up almost every day at school. It's not fair that teachers make fun of you in front of everybody. I also wanted to say thank you. You've held onto the shine, the lightness, the musical theater, and the bravery. I forgot about that shine for a few years. And you were holding on to it for me so I could have it back today. Thank you. I hope you know it's actually okay for you to be a she, they 1 week and then a they, them the next week, and for you to change your label every 3 days. This is called understanding yourself more completely. Do not call it struggling with my gender identity. That framing is a lie. The lie is that we need to be something comprehensible. Oh, we're certainly not a trend, but I respect your perspective. I'm going to assume that you grew up without hearing much about trans people or LGBTQ people in general. And so the fact that we're more out and open and gaining respect, it seems like a trend to you. Also inherent in the word trend is a dismissal of who we are as human beings. I don't mind being associated with all these cool people that you mentioned, but I will tell you we've been part of every single human culture that has ever existed. But even if we were just a trend, would we deserve less respect as human beings? Hope not. Having basic human needs does not make you a burden. Having basic human needs does not make you a burden. Having basic human needs does not make you a burden.